Guys, our portfolio is taking shape, right? This time we'll be working with the text options. So go to Insert and select Text, or you can use the shortcut T. The pointer changes to the text input tool icon, and then you can click anywhere in the canvas to insert your text layer at that point. You can also click and drag to create a text box of a fixed size. Immediately after adding text, the settings in the inspector panel also change and appears these, which are specific for text objects. We can change the typeface, weight, alignment, if we want it aligned to the left, right, or centered. Regarding the alignment, there are two options, auto and fixed, used for adjusting the text to the box width automatically or the other way around. For example, this box width is fixed. Let's select white to distinguish it clearly. So when we click on auto, the box changes to align. Then if I click again on fixed and change the size with the handles, I can edit the size of the box. We can also find other settings related to the spacing, which refers to the spacing between characters, line and paragraphs. Also click on the settings icon where we find some options for underline or double underline. Okay, we can also strike it through, insert a numbered list, a bullet list, or change the text to uppercase or lowercase. These are not specific tools of a Sketch. All editing softwares have them, so that's why I'm not paying too much attention to them. Let's type in this text line the title of our header. Zoom in by pressing Command 2. To edit the text line, you can double-click on the text layer or just press Enter. Type Welcome. And let's change the text appearance. We're going to select the Montserrat typeface from Google Fonts that you'll find on TootPad. It's free. We are going to use a black weight, choose a white color, and set its size at 56 pixels. It's fine. Let's position it where it should be and remove the previous rectangle. As I don't want the text to be adjusted automatically, because I don't want it overlaps the hands over here, let's change from auto alignment to fixed and make the text wider. Activate the grid by pressing Ctrl L and use the guides to edit the text width. Let's establish the limit up to here. Instead of centering, I'm going to align it to the left. Well, our first text object is done. If you feel ready, stop the video here and try it by yourself. Otherwise, stay with me and do the rest of the text. Welcome again. Let's do the text of our portfolio. To do it, we are also going to use a text box. Click and drag to create the box. I'm going to insert my own text, but you can add anything else. It's your portfolio, so it's up to you. Adjust it, regular width, white, size at 16, 21 line spacing to separate the paragraph lines. I'm going to select a part of the text and with Command B, we'll bold the text, in this case, my name. OK, position it properly. Once it's positioned, let's remove the lines under it. OK. For the text of the button, we are going to use a text line instead of a box. Select Montserrat font, medium weight, white color, 14 pixels, and transform the text to uppercase. Let's center it in relation to the button. And lastly, align it centered. We want a center alignment so that the text is centered no matter the text. Type, for instance, about me, and then more about me. See? The text is always centered automatically. We don't need to change it every time. We're going to leave the settings like this and save the file. I'm also going to copy the text of the button and use it for the menu. Drag it upwards and change the size to 13 and the weight to regular. Now duplicate it with Option Shift and separate them at a distance of 48 pixels between each of them. Okay. We could even change the weight of the home section by pressing Command. Move them upward, remove the old objects, and center the menu in relation to the artboard. Let's move on to the portfolio section. We are going to create another title. Use again Montserrat font, select a black weight and reduce the size to 42. Regarding the color, we are going to use black, but not a 000 black, but rather a dark gray, less striking than the black. You can stop the video to copy the code if you want to use the same. I'm going to save this color in case I need it later on. Let's select a fixed alignment as well, and after that, position it centered. For the description under the title, we're going to use the crimson text font, a regular weight, 16 pixels in size, and a gray color slightly lighter than the previous one. Remember to save it as well. I'm going to increase the line spacing to 24 and then position the text nicely where it should be. Now we're going to do the titles and descriptions of our projects. For the title, let's use Montserrat Medium, 16 pixels, blue. And for the description below, the same style used for the objects of the top menu. So you copy one of these elements, drag it, and position it. The only thing I'm going to change is the color, which will be the gray we used for the description above. Change the text and center these two elements. Then place them inside the project group and don't forget to center them in relation to the image. We just need to duplicate it for the other works. For the button, we're going to copy the one we created previously. Copy it and drag it here. Then change the text to See More Works. As the text is centered, it will be adjusted automatically. In the section About Me, the title will be similar to the title of the portfolio, but this time instead of centered, we'll align it to the left. For the text right below the title, we're going to use the same style we employed previously for describing our works. Guys, as you can see, we are just reusing the same styles in order to ease the tags when programming the website, and thus use the same code for several items. Let's use a text box for the description about me. I'll use the text from my personal site, but again, use any text you fancy, trying to add a unique touch to your portfolio. The text style will be similar to the one of the description we inserted above. The only difference will be the font size, 18 this time. Let's align it to the left and select the fixed alignment using the grid as a guide. I'm going to make the spacing bigger as well. Let's change the color of my name and the name of the studio. Great, we're almost finished. It only remains the contact section. Let's use the same title of the portfolio section for this title. Drag it here and position properly. Change the font as well. For the fields, we have two texts. The label, which will be similar to the portfolio's one, and the field content. Let's begin with the tags. or labels, okay? Great, and now the content, which will be similar to the button style, but instead of white, we are going to use gray. Deselect the centered alignment and choose a regular weight. And here we have another button. Let's use one of the previously created ones. Just change the name. For the footer, copy the menu and paste it at the bottom. The only difference is that we don't need home in bold anymore. Make sure this object is centered both vertically and horizontally. Perfect. So these are the basics of text editing. And I'll see you in the next video where we are going to work with paths.